The guilty verdict against Donald Trump appears to be backfiring, at least for now, as Donald Trump has reportedly raised over $200 million since they found him guilty. Now, to be fair, about $100 million is coming from various donors. I believe it's estimated that around $55 million is small donors. It could be the 100, but that's a newer reporting, so we'll have to read through this. But I can tell you $100 million is coming from one person. And so it's making that distinction is very important, because what we're seeing now is small donors, first-time voters, and even big-name elites are throwing their weight behind Trump because the Democrats have lost the plot. Interestingly, there's reports that the CEO of, I think, Blackstone, let me make sure I get this one right. I think it's Blackstone CEO, has come out in support of Donald Trump. This is, Blackstone CEO, Steve Schwartzman. Donald Trump being targeted by the Democrats with these ridiculous cases is resulting in not only a poll boost that we're seeing in some, not all. I think, Trump has certainly highlighted polls showing serious favorability. There's one with like a 6-point advantage, especially among independents. But in aggregate, we're not seeing a whole lot of movement. But he is, you can see some of this pertaining to this criminal trial benefiting Trump in the minds of many Americans. And that is the only polling that matters. Hard cash going to Trump's campaign. Now, interestingly, the only poll that I think matters is there's this commercial going around of the President Prison Collection, they're calling it. And you can choose between one of two coins or both. One's got Biden winning with Trump in prison on the back, and one's got Trump winning with Biden in prison on the back. Pure silver. Seriously, pure silver coins. Wow. Well, let's read the news, and we'll talk about what's currently going on with this $200 million raised. We got this from the Daily Wire. Former President Donald Trump has reportedly raised more than $200 million since a Manhattan jury returned a guilty verdict against him in court last week. The revelation was made by one of the president's sons, Eric Trump, whose wife is a Republican National Committee co-chair, Laura Trump. Eric Trump was asked by Fox News host Maria Bartiromo on Sunday Morning Futures about how much money the former president has raked in since last Thursday's verdict. Quote, "This might be a little inside information, but as I was leaving my house about 37 seconds ago, I asked my wife, what are we up to now? And Laura said, in terms of small dollar, we're well over $70 million. This is $21 donations, $43 donations, right? Small dollar donations. If you add the large dollar donations to it, you're over $200 million. Wow. Eric Trump noted that 30% of those people who had never been, who have never been seen before by a political party, as they were first-time political donors. I mean, these are Americans who are pissed off. They're coming out of the woodwork, and they want to support a guy that they just believe is getting bamboozled by a system. That's right. We have this from Vaz pointing out that $100 million is coming from Miriam Adelson, philanthropist and widow of casino magnate Sheldon Adelson, already pledging $100 million to the Trump campaign, highlighting her continued commitment to Republican causes. And then, of course, CEO of Blackstone, that's interesting, Steve Schwartzman. Yeah, look, guys, I got to tell you, I think Donald Trump is doing pretty good. We got Politico reporting on this. Blackstone CEO Steve Schwartzman will back Trump. Our economic, immigration, and foreign policies are taking the country in the wrong direction, he said. Blackstone Group CEO Steve Schwartzman announced on Friday that he will back Donald Trump in the 2024 election, giving the former president the support of one of the biggest names on Wall Street. That right there. I tell you, I think Trump's winning. I think Trump will win. And I'm hoping that's the case. Okay. There are some people who believe it is a grand conspiracy that Trump has already been selected. I don't know. Whatever. I don't care. I think Trump won. I think we are now seeing everyone start to line up behind him, realizing the deep state, Wall Street, etc. You're not going to win. You can't win. And so your best opportunity is negotiation with the king deal maker himself. Donald Trump's policies in his first term. Man, look, there's a lot of ways to view the world, I suppose. I remember when Obama was coming into office and they said he's going to end the wars. And I was like, why do you think he's going to end the wars? I mean, well, I voted for him. In the end, I broke down and I was like, all right, whatever. I think it was the first president I ever voted for, to be honest. Yeah, I think it was Obama. And then he blew up a bunch of kids right away. And I was like, yeah. And then he bolstered our troop presence in Afghanistan. And I'm like, this is not ending war. There's nothing different here. Many of these leftist activists that I knew abandoned the cause completely after Obama won. They're just like, yay, we did it. We won. And then I'm like, hey, war's still going on. It's getting worse. Obama's starting more wars. And they're like, we don't care. Occupy Wall Street was interesting because it was critical of the Obama administration. And it was just generally populist. Well, here we are now. Donald Trump's first term, no new wars, peace agreements, bolstering our national security, getting rid of TPP. He was kicking the international crackpots in the bum. I want to see more of that. I want to see a 2024 Trump presidency where he says we are securing our border, we are shutting this down, we're deporting the criminal aliens who have entered this country, we're bringing jobs back to the Midwest, we're not going to have these ridiculous trade agreements with China, we're not going to spend $200 billion in Ukraine. It's over. That's what I want to see. And I think more and more people are starting to realize you're not going to beat them. They're not going to beat them. They're trying. When we look at this conviction, there's a lot of people, it's frustrating, guys. Come on. They're like, I see these comments and they go, Tim thinks we're winning. Donald Trump is going to be put in jail. And I'm like, dude, they're only doing this because we are winning. Like, that's the reality. You don't lock up the front runner for the presidential election when you're winning. If Biden and the Democrats were actively winning, they'd be like, Trump can do whatever he wants because he can't beat us. This is the issue right now. A lot of people want to see Biden be impeached. They want to see Biden be put in jail. And my response is, yeah, but Trump is winning. You know what I mean? So it's like if you take Biden out of the running by locking him up, does that just mean they can easily swap him out for someone to actually give the Democrats a better chance? Not that I think at this point they're going to be able to pull anything off. Trump's winning everybody over. Here we go. We have this from Maddow blog. Oh, Rachel Maddow. What does she think? This is Steve Bannon writing for Maddow's blog. Post-conviction polls offer hints about the impact on the 2024 race. And of course, they just choose like a couple polls, ones that show that Trump's not doing so well. This is interesting, though. There is some interesting information here that I think is worth pointing out. ABC News Ipsos, a 50% plurality said the jury in Trump's case made the right call. 51% concluded that Trump did intentionally do something illegal. 49% believe he should end his candidacy. This means there's 51% who think he shouldn't, or presumably it's like 50 and then there's like some unsure. But this means, and the funny thing is that 49% plurality, if 51% think he did something intentionally illegal, that means 51% believing that he may have done something illegal or that he intentionally did are also kind of like, he either should run or it's none of my business. Like, this is funny. This implies there is a substantial amount of people, assuming this poll does represent the national feeling, that are like, yeah, Trump did something illegal and he should definitely still run and be my president. I wonder how many people are like, yeah, don't care. I think so. Sure. Don't care. Because if you really break it down, so they might ask you, like, do you think Trump really did, insert falsification of records or whatever? And they go, yeah, I think so. And I don't care. It's an administrative error. Hillary Clinton did substantially worse. It's the funding of the Steele dossier, the smashing of the phones, the bleach bed on the server. No accountability at all. Here we go. Reuters. They say in the survey, 10% of registered Republicans said they were less likely to vote for Trump now that he's been found guilty of felonies. Similarly, 25% of registered independent voters said the same thing. The data also found Biden leading by 2 points. We'll see how things change among independent voters. Around the time of the conviction, and shortly after, I believe it was a day later, there was I think Trump was up like 13 points among independent voters. Morning Consult says 54% approved of the verdict. 15% of Republican voters said the former president should end his candidacy. Roughly 7 in 10 voters in the poll said Trump's other pending criminal trials should be resolved before voters cast their ballots. And then they show YouGov. 54% agree the trial was fair. 57% majority agreed the verdict with the jury's verdict. 51% said Trump is unfit. Now, the reason I highlight this is I'm not going to play the same game. The polls are actually relatively mixed. Trump has some beneficial polls. Like I mentioned, there was one Daily Mail put out. Trump was up massively, I think 6 points on Biden. There have been several polls showing that among independent voters, he's doing particularly well. So we have the data here. The reality is, I don't think it's conclusive. I don't think we have any conclusive information on. I mean, Trump is currently enjoying a 1.1% lead in aggregate. We can take a look at these polls. So let me make sure I have the date correct here. It was the 30th that I believe the 30th, right, when Trump was found guilty. Let me make sure Trump. I'll make sure I get the date right. 'Cause I'm pretty sure it was the 30th, right? So we can track this. Let's see. Trump found guilty. This was no. Let's see. Let's do this. I want to make sure we have the date right because we're tracking the. So this was May 31st, I think. So let's take a look at the polls we have right now. Right now, we don't really have strong data. We have these polls from May 29th to the 31st showing Donald Trump up. May 31st, he is up. We've got one from Ipsos showing that it's even. And then Biden has 4 polls with an advantage. 2 points, 2 points, 1 point, 1 point. I think we're going to have to wait a week or so before we know exactly. But like I said, I think the only polling that really matters is the hard cash that is flying in from first-time donors. According to 538, it's actually been pretty good for Trump. I mean, before the trial, take a look at this. From mid-May, Quinnipiac, Biden's up 1. You've got NPR, PBS, Marist, a biased probably poll. Pre-conviction, up 2. Emerson shows Trump up 2. Then you get to May 30th, 31st, and you've got Biden up 2. Forbes has Trump up 2 in the same time period. This is when they're saying when they're convicting him. And then you have Biden up 1 from Morning Consult. It is not absolutely definitive. Now, that's just Trump v. Biden, which is not fair, in my opinion, because you have to put Kennedy into the mix. When you do, what do you see? Even after the convictions, Trump is maintaining a 2-point lead, 1.9 to be fair, with a TIPP poll tie. Forbes, 2 points. Economist, this is just before the conviction, 1 point. Emerson had Trump up 5 points. You cannot count Kennedy out of this. We'll have to wait and see exactly how this plays out. But my friends, the only poll that matters. Let me play this video for you. I wish I could frame it better. Here you go.
Trump coin features a victorious Trump sworn in as president on the front and Biden in prison on the back. The pro-Biden coin features a victorious Biden sworn in as president on the front and Trump in prison on the back. Each private issue commemorative coin has been minted in exquisite detail and layered in pure .999 silver. The artistry and intricate detail are stunning. Each magnificent piece comes with a custom double-sided display case that showcases both sides for preservation and protection for years to come. A signed certificate of authenticity assures it is part of this official collection. Democratic blue and Republican red are symbolic of each party. The final issue price was to be set at $89. However, during this special release, you can get your choice of the pro-Biden or pro-Trump coin for just $39.99, protected by our 60-day...
All right, so let me break this down for you guys. This is, you can buy one of 2 coins. One coin has Biden being sworn in and Trump in prison on the back. The other has Trump being sworn in with Biden in prison on the back. And how do you think the polling breaks down? You guessed it. 64, according to their website, presidentprison.com. This is amazing. 64% of sales are going to the Donald Trump winning coin. The people who are deciding to buy this coin overwhelmingly want to see Trump winning. It is 2-1. You know what the reality is? The people who are paying attention to the news are more likely to vote for Donald Trump. The people who are not paying attention to the news are more likely to vote for Joe Biden. I think that's just the reality of where we're currently at. I wonder what it means. You've got these people who watch MSNBC garbage cable news or whatever, and they believe lies. And then here, take a look at this. Biden in prison or Trump in prison. Yes, I will disclose I have purchased these coins. They're hilarious, and I'm going to have them. But take a look at the media lies. We have this from the New York Post. I'll tell you the other polling that matters. Trump shows up to UFC 302 in Jersey. Amazing UFC fights, by the way. I don't know if you guys watched the fight, but Kevin Holland, man, It was looking like he was getting beat, but then he got the, he annihilated that dude's arm. Anyway, more importantly, Kevin Holland, UFC fighter, wins, immediately jumps out of the octagon and shakes President Trump's hand. Sean Strickland did the same thing. Same thing. Both those guys, amazing fights. I had some money down on Sean Strickland. He came through. He's an amazing fighter. It was awesome watching. And I want to stress, I'm not a big UFC guy, but it's not the same without Joe Rogan. You got to have Joe Rogan. He really is good. Really is good. The Strickland fight was absolutely incredible. But take a look at this. Aaron Rodgers is there, right? Trump walks into UFC. The crowd goes nuts. They're chanting, "We want Trump." They're chanting FJB. And what does the media do? Look at this. New York Post. Aaron Rodgers, Sean Strickland have different reactions to Donald Trump's UFC appearance. This is a lie, by the way. They say Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers, who has been considered a running mate for RFK, didn't look at Trump, who nodded in his direction when he was going to his front row seat after he entered. Trump, blah, blah, blah. Ron Filipkowski, oh, we love this guy. He's always lying. Aaron Rodgers remains in his seat and ignores convicted felon Trump as he walks by tonight at the UFC fight. Here's the reality. Let me see if I got this right here. Aaron Rodgers walks up to Trump, shakes his hand, gets it on camera, posts it on Instagram, says, "Handshake pic with the President Trump, priceless." This is wild. This is the game they play. And then you got, I got the photo here, right here. We got UFC fighter Kevin Holland celebrates victory with Trump after he appeared to snap opponent's arm. Yo, I'm watching that fight. It looked like Holland was yelling at the ref, "Call it, dude," because he was like, "I've got his arm. I'm going to break it." And the ref, it looked like Kevin Holland was trying not to destroy this guy's arm. Amazing fight, dude. That guy's awesome. I loved that. Man, shout out to Kevin Holland. That was amazing. But here's what you get. Now hold on. Why are they lying about Aaron Rodgers? Why are they claiming he snubbed Trump? Well, because Trump walked past him and he remained in his seat. You supposed to jump up from your seat, block the president before he gets to his seat? That's insane. I was at Mar-a-Lago a couple weeks ago, sitting in a chair. We're hanging on the patio, and Trump is walking by, and I smiled and I waved. It's Mr. President. I'm not going to bother the guy. He's leaving. He's getting a helicopter or something. And it's like, there's no way Aaron Rodgers was being respectful. And then when he had his chance, he walked up to the president to meet him and shook his hand and got a picture and called it priceless. Priceless. But the media lies. Why? The only way they win is by tricking you into thinking you're on the wrong side of history. That's why the activists scream, "You're on the wrong side of history." They want you to be scared. They want you to be scared that in 10, 20 years, the neo-Bolsheviks and the communists have power, and then they're going to come and they're going to red guard you. They're going to put you in a struggle session. They're going to put a dunce cap on your head. They want you to fear that, but they are losing. Trump walks out to a massive UFC, massive stadium. Everyone's screaming, cheering for him. Remember when he did that in New York City? Now, hold on. You might be saying, yeah, but it's UFC. It's a man's sport. Sure, maybe, but it's still New York City, which is what, like 75% Democrat? And the crowd goes wild. Same thing happened here in Jersey. They don't want you to realize that Aaron Rodgers was shaking his hand. They want to put that word out. They're going to go to all their friends and say, "Do you see how even Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to associate with him now?" They're going to be like, "Wow, Aaron Rodgers, after Trump was convicted, now he's not getting any support." BS. It is a lie. They lie, they cheat, and they steal. This is what they do. I'll make it personal, and I'll stroke my own ego. We had that skateboarding event in D.C. Well, actually, what happened first was I showed up to Freedom Plaza in D.C. It's a plaza, and people skateboard there. And I was hanging out. Hanging out with my girlfriend, and we were riding around, just having fun. And there were some pros there we ended up meeting. So these guys, one person started stalking me, basically, taking pictures of me and posting them on Instagram. It was weird and creepy, this woke chick. And then some dude goes on the skateboard forum claiming that I can't do any skate tricks. They were like, "Yeah, no, he can't actually skateboard." And they try to do this all the time. I know it's like, I'm not trying to make it about me, but I do think I can speak to this personally, and I can explain the fear they have. What we are seeing right now with Nitro Circus, if you're not familiar, this is Nitro Circus is action sports, rollerblading, BMX scooters, skateboards, all that stuff. I think they do motocross. I'm not sure. I think they do. And it's a tour where they go around the stadiums and they build these massive, huge ramps that are like 70-foot long gaps and they're like 40 feet in the air. It's like the X Games stuff. And people pay to see dudes do cool flips. Public Square sponsors Nitro Circus. The Nitro Circus guys are based, not cringe, they're on Public Square. I think Travis Pastrana, I think he's sponsored by Black Rifle Coffee. And so you have, in this space, the wokeness is being crushed. We got the boonies coming up soon. A bunch of pros are coming out. We're negotiating contract with some pro skateboarders and other pro athletes because we're winning. Culturally, we are winning. And this is what they have to do. They have to claim that they own culture and you are on the wrong side of history. So when I go skate somewhere, people say, oh, was Tim able to skate? They go, no, he's really, really bad. He's a poser. You want to be cool and good at skateboarding. You don't want to be like him. Because they want to make sure people think, oh, wow, it's fake. They lie to you. Unfortunately for them, we film ourselves skating. And it's the craziest thing because, when I was skating there, I was doing pretty gnarly tricks. For them, the lie was so blatant and insane. But they have to maintain the facade to keep people in the cult. Aaron Rodgers didn't meet Trump. He snubbed him because even Aaron Rodgers got up and shook his hand. They're lying about everything. Look at this New York Post. Come on. The New York Post running the same lies because they don't fact check. This is the point. Ron Filipkowski lies. Well, to be fair, he did remain in his seat, but he didn't ignore Trump. That's a gross a gross overstatement, or it's a lie. It's a lie. He remains in his seat and ignores Trump. Ignored him. He got up and went over to shake his hand. They need you to believe it. Otherwise, you'll break out of their cult. Well, Donald Trump seems to be doing tremendous. He was asked by the Fox and Friends hosts, what if he goes to jail? He says, I don't care. I don't care about that stuff. So be it. If Trump actually goes to jail, I think they're going to put him in jail. The rumor, what is it? Let me make sure I got this right, because I'm hearing the prosecutors are recommending jail for Trump. I don't know if that's true, though. Let's see. Trump is trying to get the Supreme Court to overturn it. We'll maybe talk about that later tonight. I was hearing that there's some recommendation that Trump actually served jail time from the prosecutors. I don't know if that's true, though. Just some rumors that are going around. But this is where we're currently at. You put Trump in prison, he's going to raise $400 million. Now, me personally, I already donated the maximum to the man. And that's about it. That's what I'll do because I'm shocked and appalled by this. But you'll notice a lot of people are saying they're pledging like $300K or $100 million. These are to probably super PACs, political action committees, and even their own campaigns. I mean, if you have money, you can put up a billboard somewhere saying you should vote for somebody. You're allowed to do it. So I think in the end, this is, I think they're going to get out of it what they want to get out. I think Democrats are trying to trick moderate people who aren't paying attention. They need that convicted felon thing because now they're going to keep lying. They're going to keep hammering the lies. They're going to say Trump is now he's been sexually liable for sexual abuse and crimes. What is wrong with you people? Because they're trying to go to a regular guy, regular woman and say, you really want to support that person? Are you crazy? They are poisoning the well. But I ask you this. What's their policy proposals? What's their plan for 2025? Oh, what's that? They don't have one? Their only plan is Orange Man bad again? Yeah, I will happily vote for the convicted felon. Next segment's coming up at 4 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.
Trump coin features a victorious Trump sworn in as president on the front and Biden in prison on the back. The pro-Biden coin features a victorious